my friend Peter Lopez with the fresh jacket. Look at that jacket.
Yo, this is the limited edition. What is up, Innovation family? How's everybody doing today? Oh, wow, tough crowd, right? I'm here every Saturday morning. It's all good. Honestly, guys, before I get started, right, and I only have 15 minutes, I have a very serious conversation. I need you guys to just pay attention. And this has it's been in my heart. It's been bothering me. And when I was in the 7th grade, they told me Pluto was a planet, right? And then 20 years later, Pluto wasn't a planet. And then it became a planet. That's been confusing me, guys, so I really need help with that. Because you guys don't remember? Pluto was one of the 9 planets of the solar system, and it's no longer a planet. Guys, that doesn't bother you? It keeps me up at night. What did they teach us in school? Did they teach us wrong? Remember you couldn't, put your phone next to the gas station, right? Because it would blow up. My dad would be like, don't take your phone out because it's going to blow up. And now I have to use an app next to the gas. It's funny, what was crazy then is normal now. Technology is always evolving. Let me tell you a quick story. It's not like I'm a technology guru, but I've been around, right? I'm a grandpa. So yes, I know I look like I'm 28, but thank you. No. So I started early in the early 90s during the dot-com era. And we were balling. I mean, we were making bank. And it was literally like we took a company over the counter, right? It was $3. We took it to NASDAQ to $47. It was called Wave Systems. And we were balling. I mean, I drove in with a Toyota. The following year, I drove in with a Mercedes. And a year later, I came back with a Hyundai. Because that's what happened. We all made money, and we all lost money. So I was there. So the company I worked with, and I want you to hear this. This is crazy. Everyone's got that $1 billion moment. I missed it. So I'm working for Wave Systems, and we're selling DVD, digital versatile disc, and we were the early adapters. I got a contract with Philips. I was this Puerto Rican kid from the Bronx that I just knew how I saw my cousins sell drugs. I saw them sell free cheese for $10. So I learned that in the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? So, and then thank God I got saved. But so I learned how to hustle, right? So I went and we launched technology called SMO, Self-Merchandising Object. And you'll say, what are you talking about? SMO, Self-Merchandising Object. We would take a video game, right? And we would cut it up. So Tiger Woods Golf, instead of 18 holes and selling it for $200, Travis, we were selling it for $10. Check this out. It's going to blow your mind. Selling it for $10. I'm like, yo, I'm making bank. I'm going to Tahiti. My kids are going to be in Harvard University. Balling, right? So that technology was called SMO. And being that we had a bad CFO, we lost that patent. The chairman for my company was called Nolan Bushnell. Have you heard of Nolan Bushnell? No. Well, that's the guy that invented Atari. He didn't only just invent Atari. He invented Chuck E. Cheese. That was the guy. Because, he was smart. Let me create Chuck E. Cheese so I could bring in Atari and have the people play. That was Nolan Bushnell. That was my mentor. And he had an employee. His name was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. Yeah. It's my story. I'm telling you for real. I can certify that story. He had a disgruntled employee that was working with him back in the Atari days. He was a terrible coder. That's what I remember. Very rebellious. And eventually he was like, dude, you don't know what, you need to just go off business yourself. So apparently rumor has it that he sold that technology, the SMO technology, to Steve Jobs. You know what Steve Jobs does? Same idea. Forget about the video game. Let's take a CD and let's cut it into 10 songs and let's sell it, and today is iTunes. Oh, I didn't make no money on that. But I was in that technology. From there, I went to application service providers. We would sell Lotus Notes. You guys remember Lotus Notes? Lotus Notes was the email system, and Peachtree. We would sell these things for $800,000. And then as an application service provider, instead of buying the $800,000 system, we were selling it in increments, right? So right now, think about this. Think about this. You're recording me on a phone, right? And you're broadcasting me. I worked with a TV station where it was like $2 to $3 million to do what you're doing right now for a $1,000 phone. And technology is ever evolving. So what you learned yesterday is going to be obsolete tomorrow. So if you don't evolve, you die. Say to your friend, if you're not evolving, you're going to die. You have to grow. And don't be afraid to grow. Don't be afraid to take chances. 3 years ago, when we sat down and we talked about Innovation Summit and Pastor Tommy launched it, I was huge on NFTs. Yeah, I lost a lot of money with that one. But the technology is still good, right? The authenticity is still good. But what happened was, you know what happened with Ringling Brothers, Ballin and Bailey, was that they never got rid of the monkeys and the clowns. And Cirque du Soleil, it's called Circus of the Sun, they rebranded to Cirque du Soleil. They got rid of the clowns, right? And the monkeys, and they rebranded, and now they're way bigger. And Ringling Brothers, I think they're around every once in a while, right? So you have to evolve. You have to evolve. So about 2 years ago, I was like, AI. And AI has been around for years. MapQuest, all these technologies are driven by AI. Don't be afraid of AI. It's not that big of a deal. It's just, the Terminator coming to kill all of us if we don't figure it out, or machines fighting each other. It's no big deal. Or the Antichrist, not just kidding. So it's part of the evolving technology. You have to evolve. Don't be afraid to evolve. Tell your friend, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Because you have to take risks. Don't be afraid to take risks. Listen, guys, where I'm at right now, okay? And here's what's the first slide, right? AI isn't going nowhere. Isn't going to replace you. People who learn it will replace you. That's it. I'm going to say that again. AI is not going to replace none of us. The people that learn it are the ones that are going to replace us. And people that are 17-year-olds and 80-year-olds, if you learn this technology, it is going to do great things. Now, I'm in the publishing world. I have the honor of publishing over 1,000+ authors. I was an early innovator in publishing technology. What moved me to publish was this. I get called by Don Robinson from the group In Vogue. Remember the group In Vogue? Come on, don't act all safe. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Free your mind and the rest. Oh, yeah, all right, yeah. I know some of y'all were clubbing that night. So, when I get approached to do that contract, I'm with me and my partner, and when we look at her contract, her publishing contract, she didn't even own her name. I said, wait, of course you don't own In Vogue. That's an entity. No, she goes, I don't even own my God-given name, my government name. I don't own Don Robinson. So the publishers had the ability to own your rights. Remember Dave Chappelle? They took his name. You know why the Prince changed his name to the sign? Because the record label and the publishing house owned Prince, right? Right? The King James Bible is a free Bible, but the publishing houses have translated that, and what is supposed to be free, they translated it, and now they're charging you $90 for a Bible that should be free. The Word of God ain't free. It costs you $82 if you buy a Dakes Bible. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I know it bothers some of you guys, but it's true. And I've gotten sued. I've gotten cease and desist by publishing companies because whoever owns your rights owns your life. Ask Jacob and Esau. Till this day, there's a rights battle between Muslims and Jews because of Jacob and Esau. He gave it up for a soup. So owning your rights are important. So this is where I believe AI is going to go in the publishing world. There's a difference, and I want to talk about this, and this is what you have to adapt. I got 6 more minutes. Next slide. And you got to learn this down. Write it down. Write it down. AI generated versus AI assisted. If I'm going to tell you something today, forget about ChatGPT and its cousin. What was it? Elon Musk created ChatGPT and then he gave it away. Now he wants to buy it back for $97 billion. And all these other AIs, right? And those things are important, right? How to use it. I'm not going to show you how to use it today. We don't even got that time, right? You know what you could do? You could go download ChatGPT and you can ask him or her how to use it. And that's it. I literally have replaced Grammarly because what's great about me is I have poor grammar. I can't spell. I barely could articulate, yet I've published 1,000 books because my third grade teacher, Ms. Tabucci, told me you should never write, you should never read. I mean, you can't even read, and that essay you wrote is the worst thing I said. And I said, don't ever tell me it can't be done. Hello? Hello. Don't ever let anyone tell you it can't be done. And since that day, I thank Ms. Tabucci because I've published over 1,000 books. Even I've published 3 books myself. So AI generated is the issue. I do not publish AI generated books. I cannot. The issue with AI is this. It is going to pull from a source that's already been written. Get this right. This is where you're going to have problems with plagiarism. And this is where you're going to have problems with trademarking. This is where you're going to have problems with copyright. If you are AI generating your content, it is generating it from a source that's already been written. That is called plagiarism. You should go to jail for 10 years, and they should take your shoes away, and you should walk barefooted for doing that. Plagiarism is a sin. And if you plagiarize, you're going to hell. Anyway, I'm passionate about that. Okay, you might not go to hell. You have to ask forgiveness. Anyway, so plagiarism is so that's the thing about AI. AI-generated content, and there's a lot of people, think about this artist, right? Music artists. You do not want to generate an AI beat because you have no control of it. You have no access to it. You have no intellectual property. You see this logo here? My first logo I created on Canva because I was a broke entrepreneur, right? And then when I went to trademark it, they're like, where is the source file? Where did it come from? So I had to hire somebody to create that. So even the art and the logos that you have to create, if you want to trademark that, it has to come from an original source. Okay? That's copyright laws. Copyright laws only last 70 years, but trademark laws you can always reproduce, right? So AI generated is just the machine writing it for you. Amazon has already kicked out 7,000 books. There are people, now, if you're going to upload an AI generated book, AI content, even I think Meta is even asking you right now, is this AI generated? You have to say yes. You have to say yes. If you say no, you get in trouble, and then you get arrested, and then you go to hell. Okay? So you don't want to get arrested and go to hell. So AI generated is the issue. Forget about AI generated. You need to learn what is AI assisted. That is what's going to change you from everybody else. Think about this, Trav. I could become a manager of 20 little minions, of 20 little robots, and if I could create an AI generated app, an AI assisted app, you see? There goes my, and I'm ADD and I have dyslexia too, and still publish books, right? So, I forgot what I was talking about. AI generated, AI assisted, you see? So if you could create this and become a manager of these tools, that's where you could now make some money, build your brand. In music, in technology, in entrepreneurship, you can do it. I do not generate AI covers. I do not generate AI books. I do not generate AI editing because it's a robot. Robots are always going to be around. I mean, remember when the robots came to Detroit and everybody was building cars and half the people were out of business? You still need a human to QC everything, quality control. No matter what, no human voice is going to replace, no robot is going to replace a human voice. So you got to learn this term. AI generated versus AI assisted. If you learn that, you're going to separate yourself. Go on ChatGPT. DeepSeek is crazy, but I don't know if they're going to take all my data. There's so many AI generated apps that you can use and learn to become a great AI assisted rep. And now you can go to companies and say, hey, I have 35 workers, and they're just little chat bots and little bots working for you. And if you manage them, now you can manage and scale your company. Say yes. Say yes. I can't teach you that right now. All I can tell you is, what's the next quote? What's the next quote? That's all I can tell you. Where is it? Because I have a bad memory. You can use it for career growth, entrepreneurship, personal finance, health and wellness, education. You could even use AI to write a sermon, but it won't be your sermon. It'll be T.D. Jake's cousin, and you're plagiarizing, you go to prison, then you go to hell. So you can't plagiarize. The next one, he's like, man, how was Peter? He was awesome. He just sent this to hell like 4 times. It was a great conference. Okay, so you are never too old to expand your knowledge and enhance your ability beyond what you already know and can do. Tell me, and I forget. Teach me, and I remember. Involve me, and I learn. Benjamin Franklin. It's never too late to learn, guys. If you're here this morning, it's because you have an ability to change the world. Guys, I've traveled to 29 countries speaking in Spanish, and I have terrible Spanish grammar. Don't ever let anyone tell you it can't be done. The only person that believes more in you is God, and you have to have a belief system in yourself. You got to love yourself before you love thy neighbor, and know who you are, and you're an entrepreneur, you're God-given, you're God-gifted. You ain't born, you're begotten by God, okay? So just know who you are. Take a step. Listen, stop waiting for things to be perfect before they start. Stop your whining and your crying. I can't do it. You know what? If you woke up 9 in the morning, how many of your friends are hungover? How many of your friends are sleeping? How many of your friends don't even have the ability to show up here today? If you're here today, it's because you're born to do great things. God bless you. Thank you so much. Real quick.
Y'all give it up for Peter Lopez.
Listen, real quick. 1 minute, because we have a pitch event. It's a publishing pitch event, right? And there's almost 13,000 in prizes, and we're giving them away. If you pitch your book, right, and you give us a 10-minute pitch, the sign-up's in the back. It's free for everybody that's here today. I think it's going to be $49 after today. If you register and you want to write a book, just go to the Publify desk. One last thing. 2-time best-selling author right here. And hold up. We have a trophy for him, but it didn't come in time. He is also an audiobook bestseller. Give it up for my man. Appreciate it.